Hi, thanks for joining me on today's CAD lesson. In today's exercise, we would create this model. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can drop them in the comment section below. I would answer them as soon as I can. Let's begin with this exercise. I have Autodesk Inventor opened. Let's get a worksheet to begin to create this model. We do that by typing Ctrl+N, or we click on New. Under the metric template, under the part Create 2D and 3D objects, find the standard millimeter IPT sheet template because this is a part and we want to work in millimeters. So select this and create. Now I want to begin to create this model with a 2D sketch. Let's pick the 2D sketch command and create this on the XZ plane. Let's notice how the view cube gets rotated. So we want to rotate it back this way so we can read the top from the left to the right. Now let's pick the circle command under the create section. Bring that to the origin. Let's draw a circle. The diameter of this circle is going to be 200. We'll type that in here and press enter. Next, we want to pick the line command. Let's draw a diagonal line from the origin to coincide with the circle. We'll do same on the opposite side. Let's right click and then OK. Now we want these two to be symmetric to the z-axis. First off, let's project the z-axis. So we pick the project geometry command. We open up the origins and project the z-axis. We can right click and OK. Before we move on to make these two symmetric with this line, let's select this line and make it constructional. Now we'll choose the symmetric constraints command and select those two lines we want to be symmetric, which will be this and that. And the reference line is going to be the z-axis we just placed in here. So I'll click on that and then I would have these two symmetric to this line. Next, we will dimension. That is going to be an angle between these two. That angle is 30. Let's enter that. Next, we are going to trim off some parts. And so the trim command, let's trim off this part of the circle. Also this part. Would also select these two lines. And so this, hold down Control, select that. Let's make those two constructional. Now we can finish the sketch. Now we want to extrude this arc. We can extrude as a surface. So let's do that. We pick the extrude command. Since there's no closed profile, it would automatically extrude this as a surface. That is why you have this mode on. The profile has been selected, which is all right. Now the distance of that extrusion, we want to do 40. The direction of that extrusion is okay. We won't change anything else. Let's go ahead and okay. Now for this surface we have extruded, we can thicken it so we can get a solid body. To do that, we would use the thicken command under the modify group. Let's select that. Here, let's specify some few details. Let's specify the distance of that thickness. That is going to be 10. And the profile we want to thicken is going to be this one. So go back into the select face and we would select this face. Now the direction or the behavior of that thicken, let's choose the last one that says center and we can see the preview, which is fine. Let's OK. So there we have it. Next, we want to offset a plane. So we drop down the plane option. We choose offset from plane. The plane we want to offset from is going to be the XY plane. So I'll select that and use this arrow to drag this just enough so that we have it behind this solid body we have here. Let's check. Now on this plane, I would create a sketch. Now the sketch is going to be an L-shaped profile. So let's do that. We pick the line command. Let's draw the profile here. So make sure you pick a point on this top line. Just like that, you can draw your L shape. Okay, we'll do same on the opposite side. This time we'll turn it upside down. So it's going to look like this. Let's input some dimensions, and so the dimension command, the distance between this line and that line is 4. Also between these two would have 8. Also between this and that is 8. Also between this one and that will be 8 as well. And then we would also specify this length as 20. Let's also specify the distance or the dimensions of this one also. So between these two would have 8. Between this vertical line and that one is 4. Between this horizontal line and that horizontal line is 8 as well. Between this horizontal line and that one is 8 also. And then this length is 20. So I'll just click and pick 20 and check that. There we have our profiles. Now let's finish this and we want to extrude. So the extrude command, the profiles we want to extrude are going to be this and that. But notice we are still in the surface mode. We have to deselect that so that we can select this profile and that profile. The distance of this extrusion, we will define it with a through all option. And the boolean, we want to remove material, so we'll choose a cut. There we have the preview. It's exactly what we want. Let's OK. We can now turn off the visibility of this plane. Now this is what we have. Let me turn it around so we see. Great. Now what we want to do is to circular pattern this or this entire model we have here around the y-axis. So we would project the y-axis. Let's turn on the visibility actually. So there we have it. We would right click on that and choose visibility. Now we can circular pattern. We pick the circular pattern command. The feature we want to pattern is going to be the extrusion surface. Hold down Control key, also select the thicken and the extrusion. The rotational axis is going to be the y-axis. There we see some previews. We have 6 of them, just like we have here, but we want to change that to 12, and we want to space them around a 360-degree angle equally. We have a preview. It is exactly what we want. Let's hit OK. So there we have our model. This model is almost ready. We just have to turn off the visibility of some of the surfaces, in fact all of them. So we would open this circular pattern, and for the first occurrence, so let's click here, we'll turn off the visibility of the extrusion surface. We'll do same for the second one, the third one, which is the fourth one. Actually we'll do same for the fifth one. We will do same for the sixth, just to turn off the surface modes. Okay, we are almost there. Right, the 10th one, the last part one, and finally this one. We have one more hiding here. That is going to be the first one. So just click on that, right click and turn off visibility. Would also turn off the visibility of the y-axis. Let's right click inside the model browser and choose collapse all, so we have a clean model browser. So yes, now we can apply some appearance. We'll drop down the appearance option. We want to do the fall gold, and so I'm going to locate that or type F. So I move to the F column. Let's even do the brass satin rather. So this one, no, I think the fall gold would work. So sorry about that. And so fall gold, there we have it. Right now, let's do our basic rendering. We'll go into view, shadows, we would include reflections, and then for the lightning effect, we can do photo booth. The visual style is shaded with edges. The lightning effect is what I want to change to default light rather. Okay, let's inspect what we've done. Right, that's going to be it for this tutorial. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly consider doing so. If you have any comments or concerns, you can leave them in the comment section below. I would respond to them as soon as possible. Don't forget to share this with your heart friends and also save this. I'll see you soon in the next tutorial. Bye.